All right, so before we start the installation, I want to talk about a few things, a few important points about the S900 and the Ronin M. So of course the Ronin M doesn't talk to the A2 controller on the S900 or the Wukon or whatever other flight controller you may have. Therefore it lacks GPS coordinates and information into its horizon calculations. So what this happens is if you accelerate rapidly or have a swift change of direction while moving forward, sometimes you may experience a little bit of a horizon drift on the image, which you can counteract with the remote control. But since it doesn't have the input from that, it's just one of the downsides. The other downside, of course, is you don't have any camera control. So no start stop, no record, no take a picture. So the options you can do is you can put the camera into time-lapse mode and take off, and it'll take a picture every second or whatever, every few seconds, but that's the only way you can do it. The other thing is you have to just hit record, fly, and come back and cut the camera since you can't start stop. Now the upside is, of course, you can fit any number of cameras on the Ronin M, so it really expands what your client may come to you and say, have the new A7 camera, have the new FS5, C100 or whatever the case may be, and you'll be able to fly it. And then of course it's a lot cheaper than a Zenmuse, and when you're not using it on the copter, you can use the Ronin M for a variety of things, and so it's a big advantage over, say, a Zenmuse, the regular Zenmuse, which is locked into one camera. But once again, you have a few downsides, but all in all, I think it's a great addition to your S900 package. And you'll see here it takes maybe 20 minutes to install. It's basically pretty straightforward. You just take the plate, take the mounting plate for the Ronin, put that on bottom of that, and then install the carbon legs. So let's get into the install, and so you guys get flying. So there's really no right and wrong way to do it. Usually I go like this, and so you could choose to do either way. But basically, we're going to use the 4 outside quarter 20s on the mounting plate, and those basically line up with these 2 slots right here. So we can line those up right there, and you're going to get a number of screws with your kit. So basically you're going to get 4 quarter 20s, which is for, once again, mounting this plate onto this. And then you're going to get all these little guys right here, which are going to go 2 in each corner to mount onto the S9000. So at this point, let's get them started right there. And you can use the Allen that came with the Ronin kit to just get those all the way in there. And so you may notice that these are slotted, and why did I make that slotted? So basically, depending on what kind of camera or payload you may have, or if you're having problems flying it, I found that obviously setting the right CG is very important inside the application. But if you need to make a quick adjustment so that you slide that weight fore or aft on your craft, you don't have to undo these guys and slide it on the carbon rod. You can just quickly loosen these, slide the whole weight back or forward. So that's why we have those. So tighten those right there and make them nice and snug. And then what you have is our universal plate mounted onto the S900 mounting plate. And now the next step is, of course, we're just going to take these screws and go into the standoffs that are on the bottom of the carbon rod. Alright everyone, so basically I just wanted to point out, so these are the standoffs right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then of course further down you'll find the other 2. So basically this is where we need to take these really small screws we got here, and we take our plate and we're going to line them up right there and bolt it together. So now obviously, as you can see here, they're not in the correct place because it's down there, and plus we should center the weight so that this is centered in the craft right around there. So first what we need to do is we need to shift the mounts over so that we can center the plate. So by using a small Allen, you can get in here and loosen these standoffs that are on the carbon mount so that you, as you can see here, you can slide them up and down the carbon tube. So we want to do this with both sides. You can slide these up and down. So basically, okay. Alright, so at this point you can grab the plate, and at first I'm going to take one of the screws and line up the top mount first. Right there. You line up the other side. Alright, so once you have two screws in, you can take these bottom ones and slide them down on the carbon tube until they line up, and then take one of the screws, line it up, so as you can see here, I've attached all 8 screws rather, and then we have the center universal Ronin mount. So as you can see, at this point you can choose to slide the universal mount back and forth to trim your CG, or you can actually slide the whole unit back and forth. It's just a lot harder to get to because you need this little tiny Allen, and you'd need to do 8 screws back there and slide them back, so it's a lot easier just to slide this along the slot if you need to trim CG. So that's it. That's how you install the plate. And now I'm going to show you how to install the longer carbon fiber legs. So all in all, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to want to loosen this collar, loosen that collar, and then loosen this collar up front so we can take the leg out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. You see here how it's loose. And we loosen this right here. And once that's loose, it just comes apart. So in this case, we're going to want to at this point, we also want to loosen this up right here. Take the legs off. So as you can see, just loosen it. You don't have to take it off. And it comes apart right there. And you can tell there's a locating slot right there that lines up with the slot inside of the leg so that this doesn't rotate. So of course, see, and then you just simply slide it out right there. And if it gets tight, which it might, just loosen the screw out a little bit more. And there you go. It's off. So here's the DJI bar, and then this one's ours. And so you'll notice ours also have the locating slots. So we want to, and here's a trick. So a trick is to find where that lines up. You can simply just slide it in and then rotate the tube until so for you to figure out where that slot goes, you can just slide it in, put forward pressure in until it falls in. So put it in, apply forward pressure, and rotate, and you'll hear it fall in. So at that point, you're going to want to tighten this leg up right there. So sometimes these are a little tight and they don't want to fit into there. So it's just because this right here is pinched. So if you stick a screwdriver in and then you twist the screwdriver, it opens up the gap. So let's see how that works. There we go. See? See, now that it's on, go all the way to the end and then just rotate until you feel that click in there, and then tighten it. That's it. You're all done. And here you have it. You see we've replaced the original legs, which are only that tall, with the longer Cinemilled carbon fiber extended legs. And so at this point, all we really need to do is slide out our Ronin M right here and slide it into the universal Ronin mount right there till it clicks. Boom. So as you can see here now, you're ready to, there's extra room here if you have our extenders and a bigger camera. It won't touch the ground. And also if there is some terrain right there. So we made the legs a little bit longer than they could have been, just to give you extra. And you could always cut them down if you want to. So there you have it, S900, Ronin M together, ready to fly. And at this point, obviously, you would go plug in your laptop and put your camera on there, get everything balanced, set your CG, do a low-level test flight, make sure it's not oscillating or doing anything funny, and then you could go off and do your first flight with the Ronin M on the S900. Once again, we make mounting plates also for the S1000. If you have any more questions, you can check out our website, cinemill.com. You can send me an email at sales@cinemill.com. All of our products are available through B&H, Hot Rod Camera. We have resellers and all over the world. Spain, Italy, United Kingdom, Australia. So you can visit our website. We have a list of international retailers also. So once again, thank you very much and happy flying.